NCAA changes its rules and making it more difficult to play Division I. Now, let's talk about it. The NCAA used to have 18 full scholarships to divide amongst an unlimited roster. You could be 30-man, 40-man, 20-man, whatever the school decided to recruit. Now, I'm going to go to my situation. I had a full scholarship, half academic, half hockey. So they had 18 scholarships to divide amongst an entire roster. You might get a full hockey scholarship. You might get half hockey, half academic. In that situation, it was very appealing for coaches to get players that were bright, had good high school grades, good SATs, so they could use less hockey money to get them a full ride and still get them a deal they want to come to that school. Now, that rule has changed. The NCAA has allowed these teams to have 26 full scholarships. However, they've also implemented 26-man roster. So that means everybody gets to go to school for free on a hockey scholarship. So you could have horrible grades, terrible SAT scores, don't even know how to read, and still get a full scholarship to play college hockey. I'm over-exaggerating here, and that's not the case because there's still the academic standards in the NCAA, the minimum GPAs, and all that. However, they've made it so that coaches can give full rides without the academic portion. They've made their recruiting jobs easier because of that. But like I mentioned, they did implement a roster limit, 26-man roster limit. A 26-man roster limit makes it a lot more difficult to play Division I. Why? Because if you're a bubble junior A guy, or an average or above average, you might not get a D1 spot anymore. They used to carry 30, 32 guys. That was the norm. We were 33 when I played at Mercyhurst every year. And practice was rough. Guys were fighting in practice to try to get in the lineup because only 20 guys were dressed. So there was a good amount in the bleachers every night. Now, that being said, that's not the only reason that it became much more difficult. Yes, they gave a roster limit, but they also opened the doors to the CHL guys. So CHL, USHL, null, and then the top end junior A guys is what's going to funnel Division I, and I mean sanctioned junior A. So Division I did a good thing by allowing players to now go to school for free, because I remember I had some teammates that weren't on scholarships and they graduated playing Division I hockey, but they also had a ton of debt to pay off. That's not fun either. That is very difficult, very stressful, and not exactly what you want coming out of college hockey. So they've eliminated that problem. Now you're going to come out of college hockey, free education, get ready to get to work, whether it's pro hockey or your career, and move forward with it. But they made it that much harder to play there. They've opened a new pool of players to get there. They've capped the amount of players on a team, right? You're going to have 3 goalies, 8 Ds, 15 forward. So there's a little bit of spare for everybody, and everybody else is going to go D3 or ACHA, which means that trickle-down effect will make Division III and ACHA much stronger and hopefully more desirable for you. A lot of people say that they don't want to play there, they're too good for it. That's not true. Division III is very good hockey, ACHA is good hockey. It's worth going there, especially with this trickle-down effect. It's going to get that much stronger. Take a look, open your options, and go. Especially if you were a bubble D1 guy that probably wasn't going to play much. The other good news about this is with a 26-man roster limit, everybody's going to get a chance to play. With the amount of injuries, academic issues, everybody will get a chance to play Division I. Whereas before, with a 30-man, even 40-man, and we're not going to mention teams that had 40-plus men rosters, everybody get a chance to play. Because there are some teams that carried 40, and practice was a cluster because the main guys get all the reps, and then you don't get any. You might get 1, so you're only developing before or after practice, and you never touch the ice. And I've seen so many players play 0 games in 4 years because they had 20 forwards. It's ridiculous. Over recruiting. And I get it, everybody wants to play D1, but you had to look at the roster size at that point and go, will I even play? Is it worth putting a jersey on my back with no scholarship at that point to sit the bench, to sit in the stands? I mean, so now at a 26-man roster, your chances of playing D1 dropped. But if you get to D1, your chances of playing increased because they have to use you. At that size roster, they have to use you. So is it a negative? Maybe. And I feel for those players that unfortunately will no longer have that chance to play D1, and that, they were bubble guys and now they kind of lost those offers. I feel for you, and it sucks, and I apologize. But it is a good thing for those who are at the D1 level, because you're going to get a chance to actually prove yourself, earn ice time, continue to develop, and potentially sign something afterwards. So for that, it's a win. It is a win for those players. It's also a win for Division III and ACHA. Those bubble guys are now going to go down. And I hope you do take the chance to go play D3 or ACHA because it's good hockey. Hopefully more guys will sign pro out of D3. And that trickle down will make college hockey as a general much stronger, which at the end of the day is the goal here. Make it much stronger, more competitive. The NCAA Division I is already the strongest non-professional league in North America by a mile. It's even stronger than the lower level pro leagues. To get there was already hard. Now with these new rules, it's harder. But for a good reason. You're playing at the highest level. Every NHL team is watching that level regularly. More and more signings every year come out of NCAA than major juniors. So for them to make it that much stronger, more appealing, they had to implement these rules. They had to make it best on best. So it makes sense that they implemented a roster lock and everybody gets to go for free, because they were already the most powerful league. They just wanted to take it to the next step. they wanted to make it that much stronger. And that's understandable. So if you were a bubble D1 guy and you just lost your opportunity and you have to go D3, or sorry, you get to go D3, let me put it that way, because it's still a pleasure and a privilege to be able to play Division 3. Not everybody gets there. I feel for you, and I'm sorry. You were so close to your goals and it just got ripped away from you. But I think long term, this was a great decision for college hockey to implement the roster lock so that everybody gets a chance to play once they get there and everybody gets to go for free. I think those are the two big factors that matter the most, because some teams carry a ridiculous amount of guys and it's not fair to them. At that level of Division 1, yes, you're going to get an education, but you're still focused on your hockey future. You're still trying to sign something afterwards. So coming out of school with those kind of debts when if you play in the SP or in the East Coast, it's kind of rough. So I'm glad that situation can be avoided. I'm glad that Division 3 is going to get stronger. It does not get enough credit for how good of hockey it is, how good development it is for your future, whatever it may be. It doesn't get enough credit, so I'm glad that's going to get stronger. And I'm glad ACHA is going to get stronger. ACHA D1 is overlooked a little bit, and it shouldn't be. It's good hockey, great opportunities. It's definitely something to consider. Short term, it affects a lot of you, and I apologize for that. Long term, this is great for the sport, great for everybody. It's a step in the right direction. So to recap for you guys, the CHL rule makes the pool of players to be recruited bigger. The NCAA decided to implement a roster lock at 26. It used to be unlimited, now it's not. However, everybody gets to go for free. The good news is you get a better chance of playing and you have no debt coming out of it. The bad news is it'll be harder to make a Division 1 roster than it was before. The next positive is Division 3, ACHA D1 will get that much stronger because of the trickle-down effect, making college hockey as a whole much more appealing, much stronger, and more competitive. So I think in the long run, like I mentioned, this is a great thing for college hockey. It's a step in the right direction, and hopefully we'll see 10, 15 new Division 1 programs in the next couple years to open more Division 1 doors for players, but also just to continue to see this level of hockey grow. It's some of the most entertaining hockey to watch. There is a ton of NHL signings every year coming out of here, and honestly, should be a path that most of you look at and strongly push for if you want to have a career playing hockey and have a solid plan B if it doesn't work out. If you like this video, you like the information, you may like this one or this one. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and have a great day.